Sitting at the top of the stands with my grandpa. I remember he had his binoculars, his headset in, locked into the game. I really remember being right up against the top wall. When I was young up here, it really meant so much. It was such an emotional thing. It was more than just, oh, that game's over. Like you would carry it with you, right? Like I can remember I was at my grandparents' house and watching the game. We lost, BYU lost, and I was so frustrated. I remember taking off my BYU shirt and walking home and just in tears of just, why did they have to lose, you know? Like something about that had to stir me in the direction of playing here.
I would teach him to visualize who you want to play for and practice to be good enough to play for that. And that's how we kind of got it started. And I remember there was one time when I was helping him to visualize, he said, I want to play for BYU. And knowing how nearly impossible it is to become a Division I elite athlete, we set up expectations. If he wanted to do it, it would require more work than he's ever imagined putting into it. And if you're willing to pay the price, you might have a chance. And so he did. He went for it.
Me and my dad, every morning, 5 a.m., we'd be in the gym, in the church gym, shooting and practicing. That was like our little time together. He was very busy growing up, but that was one thing he made time for, and it was a time where we were able to connect daily and just grow as a person and as a basketball player.
That's better. It's a million times better.
There were many times when he would be in tears. Like literally, I can picture him just sobbing, not wanting to take another shot because he can't figure out how to make a basket.
I can remember him looking at me and just, kindly but strongly telling me, get up and keep shooting. There was those times, those decision points constantly growing up where I had to decide if this really was what I wanted to do. I didn't, I wanted it to be true that I could play here, but I didn't know if that was true. I didn't know if that was even a possibility. But, we just kept working. Me and my dad, me and my mom, and we just kept chipping away at it.
One of the concerns that we had as he was starting to excel was, how do you establish an internal value system that you adhere to? And so that's where we created what we called a creed.
The creed was just who I was and who I was gonna be, no matter what happened. I'm not perfect at that at all, but it's who I want to be.
The first one is take the time and energy to elevate the one in the moment. No matter what I accomplish on or off the court, always remember I am no more important than others. No one will question my commitment to the team and to the game. Trust in the 5 a.m.s. It is who I am, so be me.
Be relentless in my work ethic. Find the joy in the now. Serve at every possible opportunity. Take the time to connect with God daily and protect the family name.
He anticipated he would be successful. He wanted to be successful. And I think because of absorbing these into his character, they literally shaped the evolution of who he has become.
This past spring, changing coaches here, and that left me and Sierra in a spot of such uncertainty. Are we gonna stay here at BYU, or are we gonna go somewhere else? It brought us together like nothing else. During that really hard period, we just had to rely so much on each other and so much on God to figure it out.
It really showed me a lot about Richie and his desire to, obviously, we had choice and we have our agency, but we wanted to do what we felt like God wanted us to do.
Making that decision, it wasn't some miraculous, huge light that came to us, right? It was just the smallest of nudges. We were sitting in a taxi in Guatemala when I just felt this little nudge. And I turned to Sierra and explained that, I feel like I need to be here. And she turned and said the same thing.
now that we are here and that we followed that small, quiet prompting, we really feel like we're supposed to be here, and we're so happy with the program and the coaches and what Coach Young is doing, and we really see how God played a part in helping us make that decision.
I play hard out there, right? And every day, every game, I'm praying. I need God's help to help me to play hard. I want people to see how I play and to see God and God's influence in somebody's life. I want to do that because God has blessed me with this opportunity.
What this school represents for him, he wants to win here. It means a lot for him to win at BYU.
We were walking through the Marriott Center a couple games ago, and everybody was walking around, and it was exciting, you know, that pre-game excitement, and just thinking, oh, my dad would be so excited to be here. He
would be ear-to-ear grin and walking around as the proudest grandpa in the world.
Yeah.
He really would be. BYU and my grandson, put those together, there is no greater nirvana than that.
That's probably so true. He'd be so excited to be watching Richie. And then I thought, he probably is.
There's a lot of young fans that I see after games, and I want them to understand that if they want to play here and play college basketball, they can. If you're willing to just work and willing to sacrifice for your future, for your dreams, I really do believe that it's a possibility. Again, there's nothing crazy unique about me. I just had a dream, and I worked really hard for it over the course of 2 decades almost. You know, there's so many people around us that are there to help us. And that's my story, is I'm a result of a lot of incredible people around me that have carried me along and that have helped me to really believe that I can achieve my dreams.